Season 2 is right around the corner, and while we learned about what weapons will be coming briefly in the reveal blog from COD, we haven't quite had the time to really dissect what those will be and where they'll fit in our armory for Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ. Today, we're taking aim at that and letting you know all you need to about the new weapons in Season 2 upcoming. So drop your thoughts down below as we go along, but let's get into it. So as described, we know that we have 5 weapons here coming throughout the duration of Season 2. Not all 5 will be there at launch. 4 of them will be, but 1 will not be released immediately, so there's something on the horizon to look forward to if you want to put it that way. But anyways, let's start out with the ones here that are guaranteed to us in the Battle Pass. It's a little bit different here with this season as opposed to last, and overall the Battle Pass system itself is different from Modern Warfare 2 compared to the last 3 years of the Battle Pass system that we've seen so far. But the first weapon we're going to tackle is the ISO Hemlock, an assault rifle here described as a powerful and enhanced rifle from Expedite Firearms, designed to take both 5.56 and subsonic 300 blackout ammunition, providing battlefield advantage in any situation. Now, situationally in terms of the in-game combat, it doesn't offer a whole ton in terms of what to expect, but it's interesting because we've seen these exact same calibers as the specialty of a weapon back with Modern Warfare 2019 and the M13, which was just introduced here in Season 1 of Modern Warfare 2. However, the difference is that if you take a look at the M13B, you only have the 5.56 designation, whereas if you take a look at, say, the Chimera, that has oppositely the 300 blackout ammunition by default. We don't have any weapon here that can utilize both of those at the current moment, so it seems like this will be that sort of in between there, which will be interesting. So curious to see what exactly comes of this, but that's something that seems to be a cool, unique modifier here for the ISO. Beyond that, we have the KV Broadside, which is a shotgun. This is described as bringing the power of the 12 gauge to the cast-off platform. The KV Broadside is the fastest firing semi-auto firearm in the shotgun class. Destroys targets at close range with impunity. Now, semi-auto is interesting, and how it's the fastest firing of those shotguns is an interesting addition here. Honestly, it's not too terribly hard to beat in regards to the competitive fire rates, but it could give us a decent understanding of similarities for what we may be able to see here on how this will perform. Obviously, rate of fire isn't going to be something like an SMG for a shotgun, otherwise that'd be just incredibly broken, but I could see this potentially being something comparably to like the Striker's rate of fire, where it has a higher fire rate. It seems compact enough that it could be something that you end up having a more mobile shotgun on top of that, so you combine those two things, maybe it sacrifices a bit in that damage or damage range, but it's still competitive for especially close quarters, being able to get in and out of different situations. Now these two, they're more than likely going to be your tier 15 or 31 rewards, or comparably what would be in prior games. With a new battle pass system, that's not exactly how it all breaks down. There's some freedom with selection that you can get them a little bit quicker. Like I'm talking like 1 to I think 3 tokens it was that I did the math on back with Season 1, but it really just comes down to your selection path and your choice to get whatever weapon you want. So also one thing to consider is that you can go for either one of these that you want. So somebody could go for the ISO Hemlock first, somebody could go for the KV Broadside first, somebody could use 15 or 30 to 31 tokens, however they see fit, whichever is more enticing to them. Now additionally, however, we see our first melee weapon introduced, and interestingly enough, also as a battle pass weapon. The dual Kodachis are the melee weapon coming along with Season 2 here at this, and these swords are returning from Modern Warfare 2019, fitting perfectly in line with the theme of the season. Described as a powerful melee weapon that can quickly move towards a target with a longer range attack. Each swipe has an impressive range and faster forward motions toward enemies compared to the knife melee weapon, though this comes at a slight cost, a slower strafe and sprint speed. So you will have a little bit more lunge here with this, but overall you're not going to be as fast as, say, just the regular combat knife. Now this one's a bit more of an anomaly because truthfully, as usually melee weapons, we get those as weapon challenges, unlocks that are there immediately, but not a part of the battle pass. So if I'm guessing, and this is truly a guess here with this 50-50, since we don't really have any precedent set previously, I'd imagine this is something a little bit further in the battle pass beyond those first 2 primary weapons as a filler item per se, but one that has a bit more value than a sticker, charm, calling card, and so on. Now, those are our 3 weapons we'll see in the battle pass, but those aren't the only weapons we will see around launch and also in season. Now, initially it was believed that we'd see the Crossbow at launch, but instead we're actually going to be getting the Crossbow as another weapon here, but in the launch window. This designated marksman rifle is described as silent and agile. This high-performance crossbow fires 20-inch bolts with exceptional lethality, exclusive customization, distinct functionality, and unique ammunition types put this weapon in a class of its own. Standard 20-inch bolts are recoverable and are undetected by trophy systems. But how you unlock it is the kicker here, because it's unlocked by completing the Path of the Ronin challenges. And again, we previously thought these would be available at launch, so therefore you could unlock it during that immediate launch window, but it doesn't seem to be the case because not every challenge for the Path of Ronin challenge set is going to be launching all at once. In an updated blog post, the Call of Duty editorial team detailed that 3 challenges will be launching with the season: Integrity, Honor, and Sincerity. All 3 of these and all overall 7 of the Path of Ronin challenges will have 2 sides of the coin to them. You can complete them in either multiplayer or Warzone. For Integrity, the multiplayer challenge is to win 15 matches in any multiplayer game mode, but the Warzone challenge is to get 5 top 10 finishes. The Honor challenge in multiplayer tasks you with getting 100 objective defense kills, and Warzone 2 tasks you with collecting your dog tag or restoring honor 5 different times. And then Sincerity on the multiplayer side is tasking you with getting 50 kills using Battle Rage, while Warzone 2.0 tasks you with completing 5 assassination contracts. So whichever one you find easier, whichever one you find less time consuming, those are what you can end up choosing to do. But again, with only 3 of them active at the start of the season, you can't quite get that crossbow just yet. And finally, at the mid-season update, we'll see the Tempus Torrent, a marksman rifle, which unfortunately doesn't have anything to go off of right now. There is no details given for this weapon. In fact, even in the blog post where they detail these weapons, there was no image associated with it. The only thing that we have to go off of is the actual roadmap image itself, to which, if you take a look at that, am I crazy for thinking that kind of looks like the FAL? I don't quite know. It has the basic shape of it, but it also isn't close enough that I want to say definitively that's how it's going to perform. But being that it's a marksman rifle, semi-auto, maybe. That's just a dumb blind guess that I'm throwing out. Anyways, we'll see how that all plays out. Beyond that, let's talk about weapon platforms. We note 2 weapons here that do have associated platforms with them, the others not specified. The ISO Hemlock is going to belong to the ISO platform, and the KV Broadside is going to belong to the Kastov platform. Now, one of those is already established, the Kastov platform. That's your 7.62, 5.45, 74U, and so on and so forth. So will that and potentially the others, if they do have designated platforms associated with them, will they be connected together in the future? Well, based off of Season 1, my assumption would be no. Maybe the Castovia platform, but still I'd wager no. We ended up seeing that the BAS-P, the M13B, those Bruin Ops weapons, even though they're a part of the Bruin Ops platform, they were not connected via weapon tree. Doing so would allow those weapons to be unlockable via progression and completion of other weapons, which kind of defeats the purpose of the Battle Pass. So in regards to the KV Broadside, if you were to throw that into the Kastov platform and that family tree of weapons, it would make sense to see it there, absolutely, but functionally, it would require an alteration to either an existing leveling system of weapons or just could potentially throw things off entirely. I think it'd be cool to see them connected via weapon tree, but if it's anything like Season 1, I'm not quite expecting it, but we'll see. Now, beyond that, an additional thing that I want to touch on is weapon camos and how they can interact with your overall mastery grind as well. We touched on this with Season 1, but just to reiterate, because it is something we'll see every single season with the introduction of new weapons, every single weapon is introduced with 4 additional camos that come along with it. The way the camo system works this year is that if you complete those challenges associated with those 4 base camos per weapon, you can use those camos on any weapon in the game. Doesn't matter if it's a secondary, primary, launcher, AR, SMG, you can use that across any of the weapons. But the cool part is that if you end up getting, say, Mastery camos, gold, platinum, and polyatomic, those count overall towards your Orion camo grind. So if you don't want to do a melee, you don't want to do a launcher, you can use, say, the ISO Hemlock in place of one of those. A rifle that is something that's way more versatile, something you'll probably use and thrive better with than having to grind out any launcher challenges, melee challenges, pistol challenges, whatever it is you want to skip. You can do that with these weapons. And so that's one awesome benefit here with new DLC weapons as we go forward and the year goes on. So just bear that in mind. And finally, the last thing I want to touch on is there going to be more weapons at mid-season? Because we only have one weapon with mid-season update, 4 up front. Personally, I'm thinking no. I'd love to be pleasantly surprised. I'd love to see more stuff introduced, like a secondary massive content dump with its own sort of roadmap for a reloaded update, because we don't have any multiplayer maps listed as coming in season, 4 up front, none listed in season. We have a couple other things that you could make a case for, like, oh, maybe there's some more stuff coming, but erring on the side of caution, usually we don't see too many weapons hidden in any capacity. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know that we've seen that happen since Modern Warfare 2019 and this roadmap system really began. So for that, is there going to be more weapons than just these 5? Right now, I'd say no. Again, love to be wrong, but that's just where I'm at here at this. So that said, that's all we know about the weapons for Season 2, everything you need to know, and hopefully this helps you out in some way, shape, or form. Now, before we wrap everything up, a reminder, check out my friends over at GamerAdvantage, the best blue light glasses on the market. I know, I'm sorry, I've been plugging this the last week and a half now at this point. Just want to make sure that the news is out there here for the deal that is going on right now. 14% off site-wide on a few frames, plus with code Espresso, that stacks an additional 10% off for 24% off total, which we haven't seen since the holidays and probably won't see here for another couple of months at any point here with this. So if you guys are interested, you want to check out the best blue light glasses on the market, most comfortable, durable, and lightweight frames out there. I swear by these guys. Links in the description below to learn more. And if you want to pick something up, go to Espresso Nets to the best discount of the year so far. But that said, that's what we're going to call it. So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you guys looking forward to any weapon in particular? Not necessarily too pleased with the weapon set that we have right now. Maybe not a shotgunner, maybe not a melee weapon, maybe not a crossbow player. Whatever the case, feel free to let me know your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and anything COD related. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.